Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear respected brothers and sisters, today is the blessed day of Jumu'ah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded us to hurry to His remembrance by stating, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu, idha nudiya lis-salati min yawmil jumu'ah, fas'aw ila dhikrillahi wa dharul bay'ah, dhalikum khayrun lakum in kuntum ta'lamun. So it is in that spirit of the worship and remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I ask myself and I ask you to remember the following, that there are three major important things that we should focus on today. And the first one is that the most important number. The Quran mentions many numbers. The number one, wahid, and obviously its superlative ahad, is the most used number. The importance of number one is because that's the number that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used to describe Himself. Okay, when He says, Wa ilahukum ilahu wahid, la ilaha illa huwa ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. There are many numbers, and human beings are fascinated by numbers. We use numbers to count, to measure, to compute, to rationalize even the creation. But to Allah, numbers are far more important, by Him saying, Wa kulla shay'in ahsaynahu kitaba. So again, the most important number is number one. The second most important thing to reflect upon is the most important day. In the week, we have 7 days. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made Yawmul Jumu'ah the most important day. Now that day is extremely important, not just because it comes every week, because there will come a time that Jumu'ah will be the worst day for mankind, and that is according to the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the beginning of the hour. And Allah describes how that comes about by saying, مَا يَنْظُرُونَ إِلَّا صَيْحَةً وَاحِدَةً تَأْخُذُهُمْ وَهُمْ يَخِصُّمُونَ. Two people are arguing about something, standing in line on Black Friday or something, buying something. They're just arguing like two regular people, and then it starts. So Yawmul Jumu'ah is an important day. And the third thing to be, that is extremely important, dear respected brothers and sisters, and that is the most important question. There are many questions posed in the Quran by Yas'alunak, but only one of them is repeated many more times, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam to tell us that there is no answer to that except that Allah knows. And that most important question is Yas'alunaka anis sa'ah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's answer to that is قُلْ إِنَّمَا عِلْمُهَا عِنْدَ رَبِّي. So dear respected brothers and sisters, why is that important today? Today is Friday the 13th in the Gregorian calendar. For us, that has no significance. But a lot of human beings are superstitious, so they think that Friday the 13th is a horrible day. And the reason why is because of two things that are being concatenated. The number 13, which people have a phobia of, and then Friday. So they call that, in Greek terms, it is called triske decaphobia. Triske decaphobia, which is the fear of 13, and then of course Friday added to that. That is actually based on many really reasons. However, one prominent opinion that exists amongst historians is the fact that it stems from the Christian context, wherein Isa ibn Maryam alayhi salam, Jesus and his 12 disciples, which makes them 13 people, had a supper, a meal, whatever we want to call it, on Thursday. So they call that Monday Thursday. So that's Thursday evening, they had that supper. And it supposedly, coincidentally, happened to be the 13th of the Hebrew calendar month, Nisan. Okay, is that insignificant? Maybe not. However, as you go, the story that Isa was arrested, tried and convicted, and crucified on Friday. So for many Christians, Friday the 13th is a bad thing. So people have all sorts of superstitions about it. But subhanAllah, look to the Quran. The Quran teaches us Isa was never killed nor crucified, and that he was saved. رَفَعَهُ اللَّهُ إِلَيْهِ. So he was saved from that, number one. Number two, number 13 in the calendar is not important. However, let me give you a very important number in the Quran that is a scary number. If you notice in the Quran, Allah uses numbers 1 through 12. He uses them as actual numerals, as integers, or use them as in proportions, as you see in inheritance. However, number 19 is the scariest number in the Quran, because 19 is the number Allah chose to make the angels that guard Jahannam, who He described Himself as ملائكة غلاظ شداد لا يعصون الله ما أمرهم ويفعلون ما يؤمرون. They are 19. Why 19? Only Allah knows why 19. But the thing is, they are the scariest beings you can actually think of. And the ringleader of them is Malik. Allah tells us what happens when people are in Jahannam. Allah states, they say, وَنَادَوْا يَا مَالِكُ لِيَقْضِي عَلَيْنَا رَبُّكَ. They will call out, they say, oh Malik, please beseech Allah to finish us, let us die. And then in one narration that Malik will wait thousands of years and then we'll give him an answer. But the answer simply is, قَالَ إِنَّكُمْ مَاكِثُونَ. You're here to stay forever. You're never coming out. What a depressing answer. You know, dear respected brothers and sisters, I conclude by saying the following. Friday the 13th is not a scary day, but the Yawmul Jum'ah is an auspicious day for the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The most important number is number 1 because that describes Allah, but the scariest number is not 13, it should be number 19. And the question, when is as-sa'ah? The sa'ah will come, Allah says, by surprise. And think about this, when people die and they go to al-barzakh, their graves, they are punished in their graves. When they are resurrected and brought out of their graves, they say something very important in Surah Yasin. Subhanallah. قَالُوا يَا وَيْلَنَا مَنْ بَعْثَنَا مِنْ مَرْقَدِنَا. They say, woe to us, who brought us out of our place of sleeping. They actually think the punishment in the grave was rest, sleeping. Now that they see the horrors of Yawm al-Qiyamah and the judgment and what's beyond, they think it is so horrible that being punished in the grave is like taking a nap. بارك الله لي ولكم في القرآن العظيم ونفع إياكم بما فيه من الآيات والذكر الحكيم أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه غفور رحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. جمعتكم مباركة.